And the poll reads, does your organization have a significant presence on Microsoft Azure? Right, 2 votes coming in.
And Microsoft Azure could mean you're spinning up infrastructure as a service, or you're using storage in Azure, or using Azure as a target for backup, or for running your websites. So there are some organizations that are going directly online and getting going with Azure. So Praveen Richard, who heads the cloud business, has extremely good information, or good, I would say, a surprise information for a lot of the people who have gone directly online to Azure. He's going to come in with a proposition that could actually save you a lot of money. So he's going to round up our presentation with maybe just 2 slides and talk to you about a proposition there for people who are directly online on Azure. Right? There's a lot of savings to be had there as well. Right? So if you can just give us a sense of the others, we only see 5 or 6 active people. May I request the others also to sort of jump and make it interactive a little bit for all of us. Just a request. Okay. So,
Okay, sir.
yep, Praveen.
Okay, over to you, Arjun. You can proceed further.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Kiran. Thank you, Ajit sir. So now let's get many customers have ventured into a multi-cloud strategy. When I say multi-cloud, I may refer to AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or even on-premise. Right today, a lot of customers may be right now only using say one of these cloud services. Also face some problems. But when I speak about multi-cloud, it's about the choices, the freedom of choices, which many customers look for. Like one, I know that some of my instances or some of the services that I avail are better running on Azure compared to AWS, right? Or I may find some services better running on AWS compared to Google Cloud. So these are your right cloud of choice for running that side of workloads. That is one. Second thing is, a lot of customers do not want to get locked in with one single cloud provider. So that's where they feel that there's a heavy dependency on one particular cloud vendor. So they do mix and match of these services so that it's well spread across. Even if one cloud gets affected, they know that some part of their environment is still up and running, and it can get addressed using another public cloud environment, right? And coming to laws of physics. So another reason why a lot of global customers look at any public cloud services, because the data center or the data is closest to the users, right? Now today we know AWS has got probably 19-20 data centers across the world. Azure has got about 19-20 data centers across the world, right? End of the day, it's how quickly an application is accessible to the users, how far off your users are spread across the world, and are able to access. So that's where you use all these multi-cloud platforms to leverage the closest data center available for your users to access, right? That is the strategy what most of the enterprise data center users today use, right? From a multi-cloud point. Now, using multi-cloud sounds great. Now, the biggest challenge that we have seen is the cloud sprawl. What happens in any public cloud today is, because of the ease of deployment, it's easy for me to actually spin up more VMs and consume cloud resources on the go. But what happens is, at the end of the month, we end up paying heavy bills for it, because one, there's no control of it, right? We lack certain control or certain governance model to actually restrict cloud sprawls. That is the biggest challenge which most of these companies suffer with. Second, the lack of visibility on the cloud boundaries, right? Like say, for example, if I have an application which is running, I may be running out of a data center which could be close to India. It could be in India or it could be probably in APAC. But when my application is built in such a manner, it could actually be spread across multiple geographies or multiple clouds as well. So there's no single pane for me to actually view which instance is running where for that particular application. So that's where my visibility is, there's an adequate visibility in terms of how the application is spread across. Third, now today, obviously, a lot of public cloud services provide multiple purchasing options, right? I have, on-the-go pay-as-you-grow model, or I have reserved instances, on-demand instances. All of these instances add up to the cost end of the day, or some might help you save some cost. How will you know as a user which is the best plan for you, right? Are there enough tools which actually help you from that service provider? There are always multiple tools outside the service provider to tell you or guide you, this is how you need to optimize, right? There is no single tool which will give you the complete, benefit of doubt that, you've made the right choice in terms of the right plan, right? You could have a parent company, parent account with multiple children accounts, right? End of the day, the bill is huge to be paid by the parent, right? So that's one of the another big challenge that a lot of customers look at. And finally, last but not the least, it comes to compliance, right? Security compliance. Like a lot of organizations first thing is on the compliance, whether you look for GDPR or SOC 2 compliant, HIPAA compliant, ISO certified compliant, ISO 27001. So all these things have to be managed and companies do look in for it. So how do you add a governance on top of all these models? So that's where today multi-cloud, governance is a big complex issue right now, right? Which a lot of customers are looking to solve. So that's where we have been offering from Nutanix, which allows you to just in one complete cost visibility of the way you're running your cost of any public cloud, be it on Azure or be it on AWS, right? With just one click, you can pull out as of date what has been your spending. You can also project the way it's being consumed, what will be your future projection of your spending, right? So it gives you a very granular detail of your costing which gets associated to your instances. That's point number one. So it gives you visibility. Second, it allows you to create financial governance models, right? When I say financial governance, you may have a budgeting system where you may have a development team in one group where they cannot exceed beyond a certain budget. So you can actually create a budget plan only for that particular group, only for that instance, and they can work around that so that your financial, there's no enough spending which goes beyond the budget, right? You're locking them to, or rather restricting them to only go beyond that, below that. Third, the most important aspect is compliance check. Nutanix Beam does nearly 251 security compliance checks, right? And it shows you where all the vulnerabilities are there, which part of data center from that public cloud provider. It could be a data center probably sitting in North America from AWS, or it could be a data center sitting out of say Southeast Asia from Azure, right? So it will actually show you the criticality of compliance for every data center that you're availing service from. That is what from a compliance point, and it helps you pull out reports as per your audit trails. All those information can be done with just one click, right? And finally, intelligent usage and planning, which is most critical for many organizations, right? Because today, the way you've consumed now with cost visibility and optimization, it shows you, hey customer, you're using say X amount of money every month. How do you reduce cost there? So intelligent usage planning gives you the options to look at reserved instances, look at any other cloud options which are probably giving the same at lower cost, right? So that's where the intelligence of the tool comes in and gives you that kind of insight. So these are the four main things what Beam does as an overall solution, because it helps you choose the right fitting cloud for your workloads, right? And like I said earlier, laws of physics, whichever data center is closest, it will actually show you how much is the costing, which could be further optimized. All those costing goes behind that, and it gives you compliance and governance visibility as well for that. And you can truly leverage, or rather it gives you freedom of leveraging the multi-cloud platform. Because one, I can give you, say for example, if you're using AWS today, but you have not tried Azure, I give you an opportunity to actually start off with Azure and integrate both these accounts to Beam. What Beam also does is it compares the cost between these two clouds, and it gives you suggestion or an intelligent recommendation that, hey, customer, for this particular instance, you could probably opt to run it on Azure, hence saving you X amount of dollars. So that's where you have, a simple single tool which actually gives you complete end-to-end visibility and governance for managing a multi-cloud platform, right? And we always and the best taste is when you eat it, right? So that's where we have arranged a demo from Mr. Amit Anand, who is a Nutanix specialist for Beam, and he's a total technology evangelist who will take us through the session. Amit, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, DJ.
Amit, I'm gonna make you a presenter now. I think you will have a option to share the screen.
Just bear with me a second. It's coming an error, by the way. Just bear with me.
Kiran, you just may want to take it off and try again.
Yes, sir, one sec. Okay, I made you the presenter again, Amit. Like if you a little bit scroll down, you'll get a sharing button there.
I do see that. Just a moment. No, it's saying screen share failed. It might be due to multiple reasons. AOS, Catalia, and other is a desktop application. Use our desktop application.
Okay, right now have you logged in browser?
Yes.
So you might have to log into the web application.
Just a moment. I think I'm logging in.
Be able to share on the browser too, Amit, because right now I use browser only.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Amit.
Yes. Now I can share the screen.
Okay.
Just a moment. Hope you're able to see my screen now.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
We can.
All right. So would you be able to see the demo screen?
Yes,
Exactly.
we can.
Yeah, we can see.
All right, perfect. So thank you, everyone. I'm so sorry for the technical glitch because this has just happened when you are, working in a different time zone and also, from the different type of device. All right, apologies. So my name is Amit, and I'm account manager, and Beam Space is based out of Singapore. And as DJ did talk more about what the Beam does in a nutshell, I'm going to show you in the real picture how Beam works, and of course how we are able to save your cost on your public cloud. So as I talk about Beam, so it's a SaaS offering from Nutanix, and that can manage your cost governance in public cloud and the security compliance. So these two modules that will take care of it going forward. When it comes to public cloud, we takes care of your AWS and Azure in public cloud. And in case if you and your customer on Nutanix, So we have a Nutanix as well over here as a private cloud. So for Nutanix private cloud, we'll take care of your chargeback, showback, and TCO, right? The total cost of ownership. So these three parameter that we look after entire worldwide basis, and this two public cloud is very important for you. That's what we are here to reduce your cost and your customer cost, by the way. I hope I'm loud and clear, by the way.
Yes, Amit.
Yes, you are.
Awesome. And when it comes to public cloud, so as I said, we manage your AWS. So just let me take a round of information, and then I'll show you that when you have an AWS, so what you have to do is you have to add your payer account, by the way. So what we're looking after right now, so we don't manage the pay as you go model at this point in time. So you for AWS you have to have a payer account, and if you are in Azure, then you have to have an enterprise account, not the CSP. So once you add your payer account with Nutanix Beam, and we would be able to show you the value how it will happen. So it will show you a monthly spend, by the way. So this is your 1 month spend, and we categorize in two buckets. One is service wise and account wise. Service wise is something which will show you that in AWS which all services that you're using and how much is costing you, by the way. It could be EC2, Elastic Cache, AWS support, saving plan, and so on and so forth. This will show you as a services wise. At the same time, if you click on account wise, it will show you how much is the payer account costing you and all the child account. So these are the information that you're going to get directly from Beam. Okay. And next bucket which we have is called spend analysis. Here, what we do is we can give you a current month spend. This is your month spend. What would be your next month projected spend? So we'll give you estimation towards end of the month, how much you would be spending, by the way. All right. So this is the analysis the Beam is offering you. Also, Beam is offering you efficiency, that how efficient is cloud is. Are you optimized and not optimized? And how much saving the Beam is offering you. So if you look at here, only for the $2,800, we are able to save $332, by the way. And how it happened? We categorize in two buckets. One is an unused resource, which is lying idle, costing you money. And other one is a resizable resource, which is a large instance type. We ask you to downgrade that to a particular instance type. That will also a huge saving for you. I'll show you during the demo now. And last not the least, we'll talk more about the reserve instance. So many of the AWS customer, they are mostly on demand. So what happened on demand is something that when you purchase when you like to purchase the instance type, you buy it. So what happened is that's a very expensive affair, right? Because buying a required kind of instance type. But what the Beam is offering you, Beam is saying that how about you purchase a reserve instance? You know your current scenario, how much is the spend that you needed, by the way. So how about you can buy a RI? RI is a reserve instance, right? So we help you purchasing a right side of RI. What RI you should buy it. In the right side, if you see that we have a sweet pattern out here. We call it a cost spend anomaly. So spend anomaly is a spike, by the way. So what happened in this month bill? You find out day of 17 or 16, some spike in your cloud bill, and that is really very, very usual, by the way, happen. And mostly the cloud architect, they are not aware about it, why this spike happened and what was the root cause around that. So we give you a last 30 days, and you can find out how many spike happened in last 30 days. If you see that this particular payer account, we had a 35% of $35 worth of spike, by the way. That's again is expensive stuff. How would you find out where the spike happened, how the spike happened, and which account it was associated to? So here we are giving you account number, and also we're telling you these are from the payer account, and the payer account is also a part of the link account as well. And the services impacting for this particular spike is a EC2, right? Elastic Cache and the config. So these are the value. So we can also give you more insight about it, how many cost and how many days it worked and what was the problem area about that. So we give you this granular detail, by the way, of any of the anomaly, which is unusual, by the way, and that costed you money. Also, what we are offering you, we give you analyze, and this analyze section talk about how much you spend, by the way, on a account wise. So if you look at that, you have a one master account and the child account. So if you look at your child account, how much is costing, so you can just click both of them, and if you see that this is the child account cost, If you wanted to see that only master account, how much is costing, you can just click on master account and you can see that how much is my master account costing. So they'll give you a date-wise daily report, by the way, how much is. And if you see here, so we'll give you a table view, bar view, pie view. So all of them you can manage from Beam itself. It will give you a nice view in terms of how much it is costing on the master account and child account. This you can find out from. And also we are giving you great filter around in the right hand side. And the filter will talk about, if you have any credit or refunds, support charge, marketplace charge, upfront cost, and so on and so forth. So you can see, take it as a consideration mode data point here. If you see these 3 buttons, that's across Beam, by the way. So anytime you can download the report, share the report, and schedule the report. So before taking any action, anytime you can, if you wanted to check with your team that what is all about, you can find out from there. If you look at the services, so as I talked about account, here we are offering you with the services, by the way. How much is the EC2 costing me, by the way? If you click on EC2, if you click all of them and click on EC2, we'll give you EC2 cost. How much is my EC2 costing me? If you want to see the container, how much is costing me? If you want to see the saving plan, how much is costing me? So all of them you can manage from Beam. So this is the one source of truth for you going forward for the cost governance and compliance as well. Also, one of the very expensive component called data transfer. And if you are using AWS and Azure, you always first they're looking at the data transfer cost. So you can actually find out on a daily basis how much my data transfer cost is. And actually you're able to manage it very proactively, by the way, when you have a Beam. The next section I'm going to talk about, that's what we are here right now, is about the cost optimization. And what cost optimization do, it's going to be giving you 2 feature out here. One is eliminate. Eliminate is something which is unused and costing you money. So if you look at the data point that we are taking into consideration is very, very huge. And we just not about the dollar value, even something in cent, we are able to save your cost. Okay. So if you're looking at the unused ELBs, so these ELBs are unused, by the way, for a very long time and costing you money. And we are giving you information around here that these ELBs are completely unused and we recommend you to remove it from Beam. So what you have to do is you can click all of them in one go. You don't need to go to AWS console and Azure to do any action, by the way. You can do it from Beam itself and click on selected, by the way, eliminate selected. So when you select eliminated here, it will be delete from your AWS environment as well. And not only unused, there are many snapshots would be completely lying idle, by the way. So if you look at here, there's a $7 potential saving that we look at here. Same thing you can do, by the way. These old snaps are older than configure date. And this configure date, it's all in your hand. So some of my customer, what they do is they keep as a snapshot just 10 days old. So if something is 10 days old, go ahead and delete it. So we are giving you cost policy out here. So if you see here cost policy, click on cost policy, click on view. Anytime you can edit, by the way. If you look at here, at this point in time, we are offering you old snapshot 60 days. If you go ahead and delete it to 20 days, if you do the changes out here and update the policy, we are start giving recommendation much more, by the way. And what you're going to see that the number of eliminate would increase, the number of snapshot going to be increased, and the potential saving as well going to be increased because you have moved the date 60 days to 20 days. And sometimes what happened is, I understand that this particular snapshot is unused and it's pretty old, but I might need it after some time. How about if I can go ahead and suppress it? So we have a suppress button here and give the reason that I need this instance, okay, after a month, okay, after a month, and click on suppress. Once you suppress this particular instance type, it will not be deleted from Azure or AWS. It will be in suppress section, by the way. And anytime you see that action done by Amit today, and this is the timing, anytime you can go back and restore them whenever you want to. So that becomes much easier for you rather than eliminating it because I may need this snapshot for my some of the use. You can eliminate it, and or if you're not going to eliminate it, you need it, then you can suppress it and get it back whenever you want to. And this would be giving a huge saving in terms of the cloud cost. Other thing the Beam is offering you is optimize. So as a cloud manager or cloud engineer, we always have a habit of buying a large instance type. We always think that if we have a large instance type, we would be saving more cost and doing the quick job. But that's not the real time, by the way. So what happened is, if you look at here underutilized EC2 instance, there are 9 instance type, which is completely, it can be downgraded. So if you look at the first instance, which is the Jenkins, by the way, and this is costing me $62, by the way, per month. And why we are giving recommendation? Because if you look at here, this is the message we are giving you. This EC2 instance has a low memory usage and the memory utilization. We recommend you to optimize this EC2. How would you optimize it? So we are not giving you one click fix, because we want you to do yourself. You can just do a lot of diligence around that, and you can do yourself. So once you click here, we are offering you, why this is a recommendation is because of your network IO. Okay, and your current instance type is T2.large. We are asking you to just move this instance or downgrade the instance to T2.nano. So this movement is saving your huge cost, by the way, $62. And this is a chart we have taken as a consideration. So it could be a CPU utilization, and also we go with the network IO. So we have taken into more data and see that these are the parameter. That's what we are offering you to go ahead and downgrade it. And how would you do that? It's very simple. You see that here, how to optimize. Once you click on how to optimize, it will take you to AWS, by the way, and you just have to follow 7 to 8 steps out here. It's very easy, by the way, very intuitive. So you just have to follow 8 steps, and you would be saving $62. How would you be $62? Because as I mentioned to you, your current instance type is T2.large. We are asking you to move to T2.nano. And recommendation will downgrade it very quickly, and you would be saving cost. And anything you do it in your cloud infra, it will come in history, by the way. Like example, today I saved this much of amount. So it will show you that today you have done $1,000 saving just because of working on 6 opportunity. So what happened? You completely deleted all the optimized part. You optimized some of the instance type and so on. And you save this much of cost. And when you save the cost, you can download the report from here and send it to your CIO or your CTO or CISO. Share with them. They'll be very happy to see that how much saving you did this week for a whole month. And as I mentioned to you guys, old snapshot is more like a daily garbage. So that will be accumulating every day. Okay, so every day you can come back and just go ahead and eliminate it or delete it from there. Next section we have is called purchase. So if any of your customer or you yourself, if you think that you have an on demand and you wanted to purchase a reserve instance, we are giving you calculator out here. So example, we are giving you that you currently on demand is costing you $3,000. I'll be asking you to, why don't you go and purchase a reserve instance for $1,791. You are saving 40%, by the way, here. This is the potential saving that we are offering you. So we are asking you to just use your maths out here. Go for all upfront, 1 year, and convertible. We always appreciate that if you buy a convertible, by the way. So you'll be saving cost here. We will give you a top recommendation, which RI you should buy it, by the way. So you will not believe on AWS or Azure recommendation. You should just look at your Beam recommendation, and I will tell you that which RI you should buy it. Also, we'll give you coverage on it. Example, if you want to buy RI, how much saving that you're going to do on a daily basis. We'll give you portfolio if you have a RI, by the way. Which one is an active RI, which is not used RI, unused RI. So we'll give you a filter out here. You can click on in this, and you can just put the instance type, which is a T2.micro. And if you want to see the expiry date, you want to see that something is unused. If you want to see that some RI which is underutilized, click on underutilized and click apply, by the way. We'll give you a list of RI which is underutilized. If something unused, click on unused. If you apply, it will show you that you have a 2 instance which is unused, by the way, or used, by the way. I'm so sorry. Used, by the way. And it will tell you that when is going to expire. So we are giving you complete portfolio on it, when is going to expire, by the way. So you can actually start planning the RI, by the way, before 14 days, where I'm going to use this RI for. Same thing, we have a change, by the way. So if you purchase a convertible RI, you can change it into, if you wanted to expired RI to be converted, you can do from change. Also, if you're on demand, we ask you to buy which RI you should buy it. If you see here, the on demand costing you $2,200 for 45 quantity and this particular pattern, we are asking you to purchase a RI worth of $1,345. You are saving a $900. How would you do that? Once you click here, we are asking you to buy a T2.nano as an instance. A quantity should be 45. Buy a standard one and partial upfront for 1 year. We are giving you recommendation, by the way, which one you should buy it. We'll give you comparison as well. The comparison will talk about that this would be your on-demand cost, but when you purchase a RI, by the way, upfront, you will just have to pay $675. You're not paying, by the way, $2,286. We will give you a matching instance, which RI you should buy it, and what is the saving we are going to offer you. Now we have a chargeback. So chargeback would be also one of the very important component for you going forward. For that, you have to go to Global View. Click on Global View. We will have the seamless experience what you have seen in the past. You just have to click on the chargeback. So chargeback is something which is very, very important for you going forward, because if you're using public cloud, you need to create a cost center, by the way. Example, you have a dev, test, DevOps, SecOps. So you can create what the Beam going to do for you, Beam will help you creating a cost center. So example, if you have a customer like a B, C, and you created a cost center, I am the owner, you would be the viewers, and you can create a business unit. It can be in a dev or test. Example, under the dev business unit, you have created a cost center name is ABC. When you define the cost center, you have created a cost center name of ABC. All right. And what the Beam going to do for you, whatever value which is unallocated, if you click on unallocated here, will take you to the value which is completely lying idle, not being used to any of the cost center. That's a wastage of money, by the way. So the Beam is offering you, how about you can allocate to the right cost center. So if you look at here, this $41,000 of AWS and this instance type, which is completely not being used and properly. So what we are asking you to do it, why don't you allocate this to a right cost center rather than lying idle? So we all hate waste, by the way. We don't want wastage, right? So we don't like to waste. So how about you can make it all unallocated cost to allocate, by the way. So Beam going to do for you data crunching. So what you have to do is, I'll just show you now. So in this chargeback section, this is very, very important if you have a public cloud like AWS Azure, because when you have a Beam with you, you won't be able to find out where exactly we are spending on and what is the cost. So if you look at here, this instance type is costing me $761 and not allocated to any cost center. I'll click on allocate here, and I have a cost center called engineering. I'm not going to split $700 to this cost center. Why not? I'll split it. So I'll give 50% to this cost center, add the split to sales, by the way, example, 50%. So if you create a cost center and allocate to the right cost center, and when you click on allocate resource, what the magic going to happen? It will come in allocated, by the way, because you allocated the money to the right cost center for the chargeback. It will show you that how much allocated, how much is unallocated, and so on and so forth. And that we will do for you from Beam itself. The next what we'll do is we can help you creating a budget, by the way. So what happened when your CIO or your CTO or CFO is offering you like $1,000, by the way, as a budget for this quarter? How would you be managing it, by the way? So how are you going to be doing it? So the Beam is offering you to create budget, by the way. So you can just click out here based on the cost center. You can create a budget alert, by the way. So you just have to click on business unit, example dev or test. If you have a business unit name, go next, and you can create example January to December is a financial year. You can create an automatic allocation, and that all the allocation Beam gonna do for you based on your historical data. And you can create an alert here. So example, if your CIO given you $100 per month is your budget, by the way, for AWS or Azure, when you reach 85, you want to be alerted. So if you click on 85 and save it, what you will do is we will give you alert over an email. So you can keep, if you see here, there's a alert notification. We will give you alert that you have reached 85 as a threshold. Start managing your cloud to make sure that you're within the budget. And when you created the cost center, it's going to look like this, like a SAP as a cost center. So if you quarterly you have put the value in it, it will show you that the budget spend was $727, estimated was 490, but actual spend you did 263. Wow, you are within budget. It will show you green. And what the best part is that, example, if you allocate it to any cost center some budget, and the cost center have not utilized it, so anytime you can allocate to the cost center which is using more cloud resource. So you can, from Beam only, you can allocate the cloud resource which is not been used. Next we have alert, report. And for the report, we have to go to the cloud view. I'll click on the cloud view, and I'll go to the report section out here. Very, very intuitive, by the way. So AWS and Azure give you a Bible of report that you sometimes, what happened is you don't need it, by the way. You always feel that this is something a very, very high level. I don't need it. All right. So what you have to rely on, you can custom report from Beam. You have to click on add custom report, give the report name like a test or dev or whatsoever. And you start adding the dimension like a cost security, cost center, linked account, and keep adding the dimension. We have a 10 dimension report, by the way. Keep adding them. You can metrics, put the amortized cost, a blended cost, unblended cost, and so on, and then generate the report. So when you generate the report, it will come to your your scheduled report like this. It will like this. It will come like all the report name, which is your schedule for weekly, monthly, daily, so on and so forth. It will come like that. And what you have to do is you can just click on edit here and make a daily report. So Monday to Friday, around 8 a.m., I want my report to be in my inbox. And you can add the recipient out here who wanted to. You can put my name, you can put your team name, all the people who you want the email to go as a cost report. You can add it and send a copy to yourself and schedule it. So when you schedule this, every morning, Monday to Friday, by 8:22 a.m., you will get the report in your inbox, cost report. So this is all about Nutanix Beam for the cost. Also, it's very easy to configure here. You just have to click on AWS account here. As I mentioned to you, we need a pair account access. So what you have to do is you can add the pair account, create a CUR. If you have a CUR, that's well and good, no worries. But if you don't have it, you said that I need a CUR, and we'll give you steps of how to create a CUR, by the way. It's very, very easy, very simple. It takes just 5 to 10 minutes to add your account, AWS account to Nutanix Beam. And before I move to security, I'll just take a pause and maybe I will have a Q&A post this call, and then we can check most about that if you have any question. Meanwhile, keep thinking about what question you wanted to ask. I'll be very happy to address it. So the Beam is offering you cost and security, as I mentioned to you. And before I move, I just wanted to tell you that we have a nice, cool tool called user management. So the user management is something that you, being a cloud architect, or or maybe you having a cloud admin, you don't want to give access to all the team member. So how about we can restrict some of the user, by the way. So if you have an account for account and you don't want all the access to the team, you can click on add user. Use Amit, my name, as a user, by the way. You're adding me as a user, but you don't want to give me a permission for all the things. So if you give me admin access, I'll have all the access, by the way. I can delete, find out. This might breach the security as well. But what you can do is you can give me a read on write access for this particular pair account and this particular linked account. So when you give me this account, I have access only to this particular account. All the other accounts should be completely different for me. I cannot have any access to any other account. And you can restrict the user admin from here, from Beam. And this would be from the Beam level. Now let me quickly jump into security compliance. This is again one of the USP that Beam is offering you. So we are the only player in the market who is offering you cost governance and security compliance in one subscription. And what the security going to do for you, sir? This is all about vulnerability, by the way. So we categorize into 3 buckets. One is a high severity, medium, and low. So high severity is something you have to adopt right away, because this can give you a security flaw. Recently, you must have heard about Dow Jones, right? In the US, they have lost 5 million data. How they lost the 5 million data? Because the TCP port was open to the public, and the cloud engineer had no idea about it, who opened the port. And this can be a huge breach for your company. So you make sure that you complied with all the policy and all the security vulnerability, by the way, so that there should be no surprise for your customer, and there's going to be customer experience, impact as well. So what you have to do is, if we have categorized into three bucket: high severity, medium, and low. High severity is something you have to action right away. And we're going to give you a huge number of lists that talk about these are the problem area in your network security, access security, data security. If you go to the network security as an example right now, so we will tell you that the TCP port is open to public. That can be a security flaw, cloud infra. And if you look at that, the severity is high, and these are all open state, right? The status are all open. This can be a huge breach for you. So what you have to do is you click all of them in one go and do a fix selected from Beam only. You don't need to write a code and find out where it would be a security vulnerability. All of them can be managed from Beam itself. So you can actually comply directly from the Beam. So what happened? Example, if you're managing a cloud but not the security, but you don't want to take any action right now. So how about you can download the report? Okay, hey, we have 164 types of TCP port is open to public, and these are the high severity. And check with your CISO. Shall we go ahead and fix selected right now from Beam? I'm sure your CIO would be very happy, and your CISO would be happy, because you are alerting them before any problem happen. All right. So you can actually go ahead and download it, or schedule it, or share the report to your team, by the way. Just share the report to the team and say that these are the TCP port is open to public. That can be a security flaw. Same time, data security, which is one of the very, very important for you to find out if any vulnerability is there. Data security. So we call it data security elephant in the room, right? You only get to know the moment you see the trunk around, then you say, oh my god, we have an elephant in the room. Otherwise there was nothing. And that's what same happened when you are in public cloud. It's very, very easy to do a misconfiguration, and that can be a security breach, by the way. So you have to make sure that you comply with whatever we are offering you, by the way. You have to just, whatever the high severity is there, you have to comply then and there. Another compliance the Beam is offering, you call a UBA, by the way. It's called user, if you look at here, user and entity behavior. So what is the offering is UBA is all about? Anybody trying to log in into your AWS and Azure environment, it can be a security breach, by the way. So example, if I'm in Singapore and I'm just by hook or crook, and I move into your cloud infra and trying to do a login, though it can be suspicious transaction, we will alert you in a real time that somebody trying to enter into your AWS environment. So this kind of confidence that we have from the customer, that what we are offering you. And if you are in Azure, we will give you a real time within a 30-second that somebody trying to do a data hijacking, or they are trying to have a login attempt in your cloud, by the way. So we'll give you alert then and there. So Beam is event driven, by the way. So if you see here, last event received May 29, right now the time. So this is the event driven, by the way. So we are able to update you right there, by the way, when it comes to any of the vulnerability in your cloud infra. Also, we'll give you inventory. So which all cloud services in your AWS are you using, and what is the problem area? So if you see here, EC2 instance, you have a 15 problem area, by the way. So you can actually find out with the list, by the way, in details, what is the problem. So you can click here, we'll give you these are the area, by the way, you have to go ahead and fix it. So we are giving you so granular details about it. And at the same time, anything you changes in your cloud infra, it will come in history. And anytime you can find out if anybody by mistake also do any action right now. So you can check it, and you can stop the person before taking any risk, by the way.
Just a
question.
Just a question.
Sure.
If a company has their own configuration security compliance, can Beam also pick that up and compare all the instances to make sure that, as per my CISO's requirements, outside just the out of the box that you have, can we set up that as well so that our VMs with this particular configuration is conforming to our
All
own
right.
little security policy?
Since we take the input from the CloudTrail, so it will completely match with if you have your AWS security. But if you're looking for the third-party configuration, we don't support except Nutanix.
Okay, thanks.
If you have a Nutanix, by the way, using Nutanix, we will be happy to give you a security for Nutanix as well.
Sure. Okay. The other question was, since you were
Yes.
on cost, would Beam allow us to compare running this workload on AWS versus running this workload on Azure? Would I be able to get that view for a
Absolutely.
workload that I'm trying to do?
I will just show you. These are the USP of Beam offering you.
Sure.
So if you go to here as a global view,
Yeah.
we'll give you a one view of the public cloud as well. So once you click on organization global, we'll give you this, and here is the services. Once you click on cloud, just bear with me. Yes, so it will show you that Amazon is this much is cost, by the way, Azure is this much cost, and Nutanix is this much cost.
Okay, but if I'm running a new workload, supposing I'm going to run 30 VMs, and I'm looking at, I'm not too sure whether to run it in AWS or Azure. Supposing I have that option, would Beam be able to, can I spin it up somewhere and then ask Beam to evaluate where?
Yes, you can do from here.
Okay.
So if you go to account, by the way, in a global view, it will fetch the information about your workload, how much you're spending on each public cloud, and also it will give you the details about the VMs as well. So if you look at the services example, AWS, and you can filter from here as well if you want to, if you find out AWS, Azure, all of them from here. That's what we call it, single pane of glass. So if you want to see the services example for all the cloud, you can actually figure it out from here. And it's a demo environment, so data might vary, by the way, because we keep refreshing it every day. So if you look at here, we are giving you deep dive on AWS, deep dive on Azure as well. It will come. See Azure. So if you wanted to see with the details, you can find out from the table view. It will show you that how much is the cost, by the way, based on the VMs.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not communicated the question correctly. Supposing I wish to run a new project, I've been asked to run a new project, and I need to spin up 30 virtual machines with a particular configuration. I've not yet decided whether to park it on AWS or Azure yet. Can Beam do this what if analysis for me?
All right, so it's in our roadmap. We are coming a very in 3 months of
Okay.
time. Let's call it a workload automation. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can give you a comparison. By the way, if currently right now you're running on AWS, this much is going to be cost you, and if you move to Azure, this would be your cost.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
This is coming up in 3 months. I'm sorry, my bad.
Thank you.
So I think the security, which I already talked about it, and you have a report, by the way, so you can just download the report, schedule the report, and share the report. So this is a really nutshell on Nutanix Beam. And as I mentioned to you, it's up and running. If I can show you the small PPT which I have, is it okay? Wherein I can share with you about it. Just bear with me. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
So we have some sweet line from the customer talking about Beam. So example, if you're looking at our customer like a ZS in Gurgaon, they're looking at Beam and they're finding it as a one tool for all the enterprise. So if you look at here, they believe in security, by the way. But at the same time, we have a customer, Hitachi Micro Clinic. I'm sure if anybody aware about that, they're using Beam for their customer, and they're very, very happy user, by the way. They're saving 50% cost, and also they call it a single pane of glass for all the cloud. So these are the sweet line that we are hearing from our customer when it comes to public cloud.
Sure. There's one question being asked. How is Beam costed? How do they pay for it?
All right.
The customer wants to know. Yeah.
That's a sweet line, and that's what I'm looking to hear that. So it's a really cool question. So Beam cost based on the cloud spend. So example, if your example is spending $100, we will charge you 3% of $100. That's it.
Okay.
Any questions? More questions? Suggestions? I'll be very happy to answer it, because I always love hearing it, even in my customer talk about or ask some questions, because that's what it become a more interactive.
So participants, you can use the Q&A panel in case you need to add more questions. Please use the Q&A piece to raise your questions. In the meanwhile, is there anything else that you need to cover, Amit, or
I'm good, by
are
the
we
way.
done with the demo?
Yeah, so
Okay,
this is a report, by the way. So anytime download the report, share the report. And as I mentioned to you guys, Beam is offering you cost governance and security compliance in one subscription. So you're not buying, any of the tool in the market right now. They are giving you one tool and you have to pay for it. Here you are just buying a one Beam, and that can take care of your both headache, cost and security both.
perfect. Right. So Kiran, can we just get back to Arjun? Thank you, Amit, for that, and just be around with us till the end, because there may be Q&As coming up.
Absolutely, I'm here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Kiran.
Yes, sir. I'm just handing it over to Arjun now. You can proceed now. You can show your slides.
Yes. Are you able to see my screen? Thanks, Kiran. Thanks,
Yeah,
Amit.
Arjun.
Fantastic. So thank you very much, Amit. I think it was a very detailed and very intuitive, session on Beam. It's a single tool, which takes care of most of the things. So that's where I would like to walk everybody on the benefits on, with Beam. Like you saw, it's a SaaS-based model. So setting up Beam is just about few hours, right? You just start off. There's no infrastructure that is required to set it up, right? And you can just get going with that. Once you have a multi-cloud platform, it gives you a single pane of glass, which gives you cost comparison of Azure, AWS, and Nutanix, like how Amit just highlighted to us, and it's all action oriented, right? The best part about this is the same pane of Windows used to actually fix issues as well, or fix recommendations which are provided, right? You don't need to go back to your AWS console, or you don't need to go back to your Azure console to do the job, right? It's all action oriented from the same UI. And obviously it's built for customization. So anything and everything that you saw, what Amit provided, was purely customized to his purview. So you can also customize the dashboard. You can customize the security, compliance reports which you want to pull for your organization. You can create budgets as per your will and wish. So those are the customizations which you can do from an organization standpoint. And end of day, it's a simple UI, very clean, very innovative. It's very simple to use, right? So these are the top benefits where Beam stands out, class apart compared to the rest of the competition, right? Now, here are some of the customers. One of the customers which he mentioned was ZS, who has had tremendous amount of savings using Beam. Some of the other customers who are using Beam today are Panasonic, Analog Device, Rakuten Overdrive, right? Another e-portal which is using it. And as for the next steps, what I would urge everybody on the call is kindly go ahead and subscribe for a 14-day trial. We are here to help you set it up, because we always believe to try it. If you like it, you'll truly find value of the product, right? So please feel free to let us know how you want to take it forward, right? Kiran, you want to run a quick poll on this?
Right, Arjun. I want to run a quick poll to see how many customers are interested in taking this 14-day free trial. So I think if you get a poll now, you can opt for it. Like if you want to try Nutanix Xi for 14-day, you can opt for it. We'll be happy
And
to
also,
assist you to start the free trial.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And the good part is that in 14 days free trial, we are not holding back any of the feature. So what you're going to be subscribing it, you're going to be getting when you purchase Beam in future. So there would be no holdback feature, by the way. So all of them, whatever you try it during the trial, you're going to get actual when you subscribe to it. So that's the beauty that Nutanix is offering you, 14 days free trial. And also during the trial, we will help you with the onboarding as well. There will be no cost associated to it. So example, if you're reluctant how to go ahead and add my account there, we are a FedRAMP compliance and GDPR compliant, by the way. So you don't need to worry about compliant part. So we are completely a compliant company, and your data is safe with us, and you would be very, very happy to look Beam for for 14 days trial. Thank you.
Thanks, Amit. Kiran, have you launched it?
Yeah, we have
Yes.
already launched it. And I'll wait for another three to four more seconds to all the people to respond. And then you can take it forward. Yeah, I'm going to close it now. I think I have 3-4 customers who have interested in taking this poll in a free trial. So you may proceed, Arjun. Thanks.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you very much. So, team, I mean, all the audience who participate, thank you very much. One thing I want to cover is my colleague Praveen Richard from my cloud team, who will also add value in terms of how we can help you optimize further. You know, even with Beep going beyond, Azure services as well. So, Praveen, over to you to take this forward.
Yeah, thanks, Arjun. Am I audible, Arjun?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
We can hear you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Praveen Richard from the cloud team, and I have something very important to share with you because this is something many of our customers have found value, especially in the recent few months. Right. So if you are an online Microsoft Azure customer, like, what do I mean by that? If you or your team have gone online, subscribed to any of the Azure services online, and you're being billed by Microsoft directly, and you're paying through your credit card, right? We have very important news to you. By signing up with the CSP program, with a gold certified cloud solution provider like New Wave Computing, you can straight away save up to 15% in your billings, right? So what do I mean by that? You will use the same set of resources, what you're using, the same Azure services, but you will pay 15% less, right? How cool is that? Right? I'll tell you why it's very important right now in today's scenario. Yeah, so why it makes so much sense. Assured discount. So as I said earlier, by looking at your cloud consumption, your workload, the discounts are fixed. It's very transparent. So whatever you consume, you will pay this much 10% or 15% lesser in your billing. And the price is consistent against your online billing. For the per unit price for every workload is fixed for a year. And local support with a fixed SLA and an escalation path to Microsoft. There are many customers we see that who are using online. They raise a support ticket online and they're waiting for a technical person from Microsoft to come and help them. There's nothing like a local support. New Wave, we have 6 certified Azure architects, right? We would love to come in person, look at your challenges and help you. And with our 8 years experience comes with our understanding of the OEM, right? We know exactly for your particular problem to bring what stakeholder, and we will be able to do that very quickly. Monthly consolidated billing. And again, we see with our customers, there are multiple teams who subscribe to Azure independently. There are a lot of billing which is coming up, and there'll be a lot of operational confusions. If you're also using Office 365 or any other cloud services other than Azure, we would be able to give you a single consolidated billing for all your cloud services, right? The last thing and the most important is that you would be able to leverage the expert cloud consultants which New Wave has. We have solved some of the biggest problems with the top-notch companies like Tata Sky, Bank Bazaar, Swiggy, right? And we would be able to help you with all those experiences. So if you are on AWS or GCP or any other cloud services, I highly recommend you to allow us to consult with you, look at your workloads, look at your billing, because we are very committed in bringing your cost down. So before we conclude, I want to talk very briefly about my organization. So New Wave Computing, we are a 20-year young organization. We have operations across the major cities of South India, Chennai, Bangalore, Kochi, and Hyderabad, serving over 2,000 plus customers across the country. So we help our customers with products, solutions, and services across edge, core, and cloud. Right? You will understand us better here. So we see that all our customers are going through either one or more of these transformations, either workforce transformations where they're trying to transform the end user computing or how people are being productive wherever they are. The second one is IT transformation, where they want to transform their data center with HCI, hyperconverged infrastructure, which Arjun spoke about. The third one is security transformation, where they want to transform their perimeter security, network security, or application security. The last one, and something we see a lot of traction in the market right now, is digital transformation, right? So we see customers who want to automate a lot of mundane tasks across departments, by reducing error and by cutting cost. So we are able to do that. We are able to assist our customers across these 4 transformation with a strong OEM partnerships with all the OEMs, and we are able to do that. It is all underpinned by a very strong services team, right? Be it your SI services, your FMS, your short-term or long-term residency services, Newwave will be able to help you. So thanks a lot. Now I'm over to you, Kiran, I think, for the closing polls.
Yeah, thanks, Praveen. I think before we close this webinar, I would like to run another 2 polls just to take your feedback on today's webinar, like how you want us to interact with you next, and how did you find the session informational or not. So I'm going to first run this poll. The poll reads, do you wish to save costs by onboarding to the Microsoft Azure CSP program? And I would request all of you to kindly take this poll and participate in it. And there are more than 15 people, and I see just 4 votes. I would request everyone to participate. Right, I'm going to open this poll for another next 4 or 5 seconds, and then I'm going to close it. Okay, so the last poll of the webinar is this, which reads, did you find this session was a productive use of your time? If you found this session very informational, you can choose yes there. Wait, I'm going to close this poll in next 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, participants, and I would like to also thank Amit for joining us today and running a quick demo for the customers. And also, I would like to thank Arjun and Praveen for giving us an insightful session. And I would also like to thank all the audience for your participation. We hope the session was informative and enlightening. You will shortly receive an email thanking you from me for your presence this afternoon. And you will find a link to take a brief survey or the feedback on today's webinar topic. So please take a few minutes away and share your inputs so that we can respond to you suitably. And should you wish to access a recording of this webinar, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day, and thank you once again for your patient presence. Thanks, Arjun. Bye.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.